This is part 2, episode 140. Let's go. He Qing waved his hand, turned around and entered the crack line. Xiao Yan followed closely behind. Ziyang walked at the back and watched Xiao Yan's group with some reluctance. She clenched her small hand tightly and spoke in a serious manner. Xiao Yan, I will definitely be stronger than you the next time I come out. At that time, you will have to refine pills for me to eat every day. Ha ha. Ziyang laughed in a lovely and silly manner towards the end. After which, she ceased remaining any longer. She turned around and walked into the spatial crack line. That crack line emitted a kai sound and swiftly disappeared after Ziyang entered the spatial crack line. Xiao Yan had some feeling of melancholy as he watched the spot where Ziyang's group had disappeared. With this little girl missing, it appeared that there would be a lot less joy around him. Let's go. We have completed our mission successfully this time around. The soul baby fruit is in our hands. There is finally a solution to the problem of the teacher's soul. After being depressed for a moment, Xiao Yan once again braced himself. He waved his hand and laughed out loud. After which, he leaped and rushed to the mid-air, transforming into a ray of light that swiftly bolted away from the beast region. Little fairy doctor, and the rest also quickly followed from behind. The gains from this trip to the ancient remains this time around had far exceeded Xiao Yan's group expectations. Not only did they successfully obtain the soul baby fruit, but they had even luckily obtained that extremely precious pill beast. If this thing was groomed properly, it would sooner or later advance into the true tier 9 level. At that time, it would really be able to revive people, change their lives and other inconceivable magical effect. Of course, the greatest gain was naturally the 3 ribs that had been removed from the Do Xing skeleton. Those 3 ribs hid the true Tian class Do skill. However, the current Xiao Yan did not have the time to immediately decipher it. Everything can only be carefully studied once they return to the Falling Star Pavilion. Currently, they had offended the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe and the 9 Serene Deep Ground Python tribe, these 2 largest tribes within the Beast region. These factions possessed many ears and eyes within the Beast region. Hence, Xiao Yan's group did not dare to remain in this place for long. After separating with He Qing's group, they directly rushed out of the Beast region by traveling over the night. With this rapid traveling speed of theirs, they had completely left the territory of the Beast region within just a day. After leaving the area of the Beast region, Xiao Yan first thought of a way to transmit some information to Mu Qingwan's group, which was still remaining in the Beast region awaiting news. After which, he led the group and made the journey back to the Falling Star Pavilion. An elderly figure was seated on a large rock at the top of the mountain behind the Falling Star Pavilion. The old man's figure was a little illusory. However, there was a vast and mighty spiritual pressure vaguely spreading from it. No one else within this Falling Star Pavilion, other than Yao Lao, possessed such a mighty spiritual strength. Old fellow, I have already secretly made contact with some old demons, who have quite a good relationship with you back then. They had replied that as long as you are able to recover your strength, there will be a guest official of the Falling Star Pavilion. A green-robed Feng Zunja laughed from behind Yao Lao. If I am able to recover my peak strength, the Falling Star Pavilion will possess a strength that the Hall of Soul will have to take seriously. With the security guaranteed, they will naturally be willing to. Yao Lao smiled and did not feel surprise. Feng Zunja nodded slightly. He mused for a moment and said, "It has been a period of time since Xiao Yan's group has headed to the Beast region. I wonder if the soul baby fruit has been obtained. It is rumored that quite a number of experts had been attracted to the remains this time around. You can be rest assured." Yao Lao smiled faintly. He slowly opened his shut eyes and looked towards the entrance of the star realm. A slight ripple had appeared at that spot. Feng Zunja was startled when he saw Yao Lao's great confidence in Xiao Yan. Immediately, he followed the latter's eyes and looked over, only to see that the space there was slowly being opened. A couple of familiar figures were slowly walking in. From the looks of it, it was Xiao Yan's group, who had returned to the Falling Star Pavilion in a tired manner. "Old fellow, congratulations. Your hope is about to be fulfilled," Feng Zunja smiled a little. He softly spoke in an envious voice, "You have found a good disciple." Xiao Yang's body slowly landed on the top of the back mountain. He looked at Yao Lao, who was seated on a large stone and smiling at him. Cupping his hands together, he said, "We have fulfilled our expectations." Feng Zunja by the side involuntarily let out a heavy sigh when he heard these words of Xiao Yang. He lifted a thumb towards Xiao Yang and laughed, "Good. Are you all right?" Yao Lao smilingly inquired. It can be summarized to have been full of surprises, but no danger. Xiao Yang spread his hand and summarized the matter within the remains. "It is the Hall of Soul again." Yao Lao nodded slightly. A chillness surged within his eyes. Xiao Yang smiled. He flicked his finger, and a wooden box appeared in his hand. After which, the wooden box was suspended in the sky before gently landing in front of Yao Lao. It was automatically opened. Golden light shot out of it before revealing that baby-like golden fruit within the box. It is indeed the soul baby fruit. Moreover, it is the best quality golden grade soul baby fruit. Even with Yao Lao's calmness, his eyes involuntarily displayed some joy when he saw this golden fruit. Xiao Yang smiled and nodded. The soul baby fruit had two grades. They were the silver grade soul baby fruit and the golden grade soul baby fruit. The former was of a lower quality, while the latter had a stronger medicinal effect. The soul baby fruit that Xiao Yang had found within the ancient forest was the latter type. With this golden grade soul baby fruit, it is likely that all of the essence spiritual aura that you have exhausted will be completely replenished. Feng Zunja fondled his beard and laughed. "Teacher, you should undertake a retreat today, and try to replenish your essence spiritual aura as quickly as you can. That way, we can begin to refine a body," Xiao Yang said. Yao Lao nodded slightly. His eyes looked towards Xiao Yang before he spoke softly. "Little fellow, do you miss your father?" Xiao Yang was startled when he heard Yao Lao suddenly speaking about this manner. Immediately, he became silent. He pressed his lips tightly and a deep guilt was present within his eyes. Xiao Zhon was his father. The same bloodline flowed within their bones. The latters doted on him greatly when he was young. Even during the time when he was at the lowest point of his life, that love did not diminish because of any reason. This was because they were father and son. The two simple words represented a blood relation that nothing could remove. If he counted the time that his father had fallen into the hands of the Hall of Soul was even longer than Yao Lao being here. When his father was captured back then, Xiao Yang was merely a tender youth, who charged up the misty cloud mountain with his stomach filled with anger. Xiao Zhon had a great expectation for Xiao Yang since the latter was young. He ultimately believed that Xiao Yang would change the Xiao clan, and allow this clan, which was continuously declining, to truly become powerful. The current Xiao Yang had already become a renowned top-tier expert in the Central Plains. With his Dozun class strength, it was sufficient for him to become a legendary-like existence within the Jioma Empire. From a certain point of view, it appeared that he had reached the expectations Xiao Zhon had of him back then. Unfortunately, the latter was unable to see his son's soaring moment. "I will rescue my father. This is my promise to elder brother and second brother. I do not have the face to return and see them if I cannot rescue father," Xiao Yang softly said. His voice was a little hoarse. This large mountain known as the Hall of Soul had been pressing on his shoulders since he was a tender youth. Fortunately, it did not cause him to collapse. Instead, he had grown rapidly under this kind of pressure until he had reached this stage today. "Teacher will help you, even if the price is this old life of mine." Yao Lao gently patted Xiao Yang's shoulder and laughed. "If your father is aware that the little boy back then had already become an independent expert, it is likely that he will be very happy." Xiao Yang smiled. He blinked his eyes and endured the somewhat sour feeling. He immediately asked, "Is teacher aware of where father is being imprisoned in the Central Plains?" "It is not anywhere in the Central Plains." Yao Lao shook his head and said. Xiao Yang was startled when he heard this. He frowned and asked, "What do you mean?" "I am also uncertain," why the Hall of Soul values your father so greatly. I can only guess that it should be because of the ancient jade that is with you. Yao Lao knitted his brows slightly and said, the Jiyu clan has the Jiyu realm, while the strength and foundation of the Hall of Soul is not inferior to the Jiyu clan. Teacher, you mean, the Hall of Soul can also create their own realm? Xiao Yan was slightly startled as he said. Soul realm. Yao Lao nodded gently and replied softly, however, those experts who are aware of the soul realm are only a few even in the central plains. As for the entrance to the soul realm, even I am not aware of it. My father has been imprisoned in the soul realm. Xiao Yang demanded in a deep voice. Yes. The fist under Xiao Yang's sleeves tightened slightly. His finger gently rubbed his storage ring. An ancient jade with an ancient aura quietly appeared in his hand. Qiushi ancient god's jade, the target of the Hall of Soul. However, was unable to sense just what use this thing was after having possessed it for so many years. Other than when he was training deep under the tower of the Jiunan Academy back then, when this ancient jade showed some unusual activity, it had never appeared for a second time even after so many years. The Hall of Soul faction is huge and mysterious. Based on my investigation, it is rumored that the Hall of Soul had another name a long time ago. Yao Lao narrowed his eyes slightly and softly said. Han Clan. Han Clan. The hand, which Xiao Yang was using to hold the ancient jade, trembled. He said, could it have been passed down from the ancient times, just like the Jiyu clan? I am not too certain about this, however. That little girlfriend of yours might be aware of some news. Yao Lao shook his head and sighed. The more he came into contact with the Hall of Soul, the more he sensed the mysteriousness and unusualness of this faction that was intertwined across the continent. Zana He, Xiao Yang nodded slightly. I can only tell you this much. However, regardless of how the relationship between you and the Hall of Soul will become, Teacher will ultimately stand behind you, even if I have to stake this old life of mine. Yao Lao smiled slightly. He patted Xiao Yang's shoulders. After which, he held the wooden box, placed his hands behind him and slowly walked down the mountain. Xiao Yang smiled as he watched Yao Lao's and Feng Zunzhe's back. He inhaled a deep breath and looked towards the sky. A determination gradually surged up his face. Father, regardless of how powerful the Hall of Soul is, I will still rescue you. Wait for me. Yao Lao chose to quickly undertake a retreat, after having obtained the soul baby fruit. Only if his essence spiritual aura was replenished would he be able to truly regain his peak strength. Moreover, he might even possess the potential and hope of advancing to the Doushin class in the future. After Yao Lao undertook a retreat, Xiao Yang group had first rested for a couple of days. Mu Qingluan and the others had hurriedly rushed back to the Falling Star Pavilion during these few days. They heaved a sigh of relief when they heard that the mission was successful. After resting for a couple of days and regaining his peak strength, Xiao Yang once again had a headache. This time around, his headache was due to the poison within Qing Lin's body. The Emperor Python heart-eroding poison was an extremely famous poison on the Central Plains. This type of poison was rumored to be without antidote. However, Xiao Yang had also said that there was no poison without an antidote in this world. It was just that the antidote had not been found. Due to this, he had buried his head in the many medicine books that Yao Lao had left behind. He had even borrowed the 7-colored poison book that little fairy doctor had obtained back then to study. Although this lethal poison gave him a headache, it was fortunate that the heavens rewarded those who put in the effort. After searching for 4 to 5 days in this complete darkness, Xiao Yang had finally groped a method to remove the poison. There was a quiet and cool mountain cave in the back mountain of the Falling Star Pavilion. At the middle of the cave was a small pool that was built with stones. At this moment, clear water was bubbling within the pool. It appeared as though the pool was boiling. Xiao Yang would occasionally take out some medicinal powder or liquid as he stood by the side of the pool. After which, he would pour them into the pool. The clear water within the pool had gradually turned into a pale red color. Only then did he stop. He flipped his hand and a small jade bottle flashed and appeared. The interior of the jade bottle contained a rich substance like pure energy. Seeing this jade bottle, the snow-white small beast in Xiao Yang's chest immediately let out a groan. Currently, the expression of the little beast was extremely sluggish. Even its fur had become paler. It caused one to feel a heartache when looking at it. Rest assured that I will compensate you after this. Xiao Yang laughed bitterly. He took out a couple of pills from his storage ring and stuffed them into the mouth of the pill beast. Only then did the latter recover a little. Xiao Yang sighed in relief when he saw this. He had really spent a great effort in order to get this fellow to contribute some blood. Blup blup. The jade bottle was tilted and the silver liquid slowly dripped downwards. Finally, it landed in the pool. Immediately, an ear-piercing sizzling sound was emitted. After the liquid was dripped into it, a wave of extremely pure energy ripple immediately spread out from within the pool. Qing Lin, remove your clothes and enter the pool. If you can absorb all of these energy, it should be able to completely stabilize your strength at the Dozun class. Xiao Yang kept the jade bottle, turned his head and smilingly spoke to Qing Lin by the side. Qing Lin was initially startled when she heard this. A bright redness immediately surfaced on her face. I understand, Xiao Yang also smiled when he saw this manner of hers. He turned around and said, due to the need to always add various medicinal powder, I'm afraid that I cannot leave. Yes. Qin Ling's face was red as she acknowledged in an ant-like voice. After which, she quickly removed her clothes. With a splash, she had leaped into the small pool in an agile manner. Xiao Yang turned his head only after hearing the sound was water splashing. His gaze looked towards the pool, only to see Qin Ling revealing only her head above the water. Her long hair became wet and adhered onto her face, adding an alluring enchantment to her. Enter your training state and absorb the medicinal strength within the pool. Xiao Yang spoke gently. The embarrassment and anxiety in Qin Ling's heart gradually weakened a little when she heard this soft and gentle voice of Xiao Yang. She stabilized her mind as she shut both of her eyes and slowly entered into her training mode. Xiao Yang smiled slightly when he saw Qin Ling successfully entering her training state. He was just about to get up when his eyes suddenly landed on the smooth back that Qin Ling exposed over the surface of the water. When the water fog of the pool rose, a mysterious tattoo also vaguely appeared on her back. This tattoo appeared just like an entrenched large python if one was to look at it carefully. However, this large python appeared to possess 9 heads. During the time that Xiao Yang was observing the mysterious tattoo in a stunned manner, the shut snake eyes of one head of the 9-headed snake was suddenly opened at this moment. Immediately, a brutal feeling surged within Xiao Yang's heart, without forewarning, causing his eyes to immediately turn blood red. Who? Xiao Yang became cautious after the brutalness appeared for an instant. His body swiftly pulled back, and his eyes also hurriedly turned away from that tattoo. Xiao Yang's eyes gradually recovered to normal after shifting his eyes away. He gently swallowed a mouthful of saliva. His heart was filled with shock. Why was there such a ferocious thing on Qing Lin's body? This video will end here.